100 quotes from Albert Einstein. We cannot solve our problems with the same level of thinking that created them. Somebody who only reads newspapers and at best books of contemporary authors looks to me like an extremely near-sighted person who scorns eyeglasses. He is completely dependent on the prejudices and fashions of his times, since he never gets to see or hear anything else. A person starts to live when he can live outside himself. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. I want to know God's thoughts, the rest are mere details. Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. One thing I have learned in a long life, that all our science, measured against reality, is primitive and childlike, and yet it is the most precious thing we have. The ideals which have always shone before me and filled me with joy are goodness, beauty, and truth. The more I learn, the more I realize how much I don't know. Information is not knowledge. If I were to remain silent, I'd be guilty of complicity. We know from daily life that we exist for other people first of all, for whose smiles and well-being our own happiness depends. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, it can only be changed from one form to another. Creativity is intelligence having fun. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it yourself. Everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Imagination is more important than knowledge. For knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress, giving birth to evolution. Not everything that can be counted counts, and not everything that counts can be counted. To raise new questions, new possibilities, to regard old problems from a new angle, require creative imagination and marks real advance in science. Once you stop learning, you start dying. I must be willing to give up what I am in order to become what I will be. When you trip over love, it is easy to get up. But when you fall in love, it is impossible to stand again. It would be possible to describe everything scientifically, but it would make no sense. It would be without meaning, as if you described a Beethoven symphony as a variation of wave pressure. A question that sometimes drives me hazy: am I or are the others crazy? Blind belief in authority is the greatest enemy of truth. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. We all know that light travels faster than sound. That's why certain people appear bright until you hear them speak. The best way to cheer yourself is to cheer somebody else up. Peace cannot be kept by force, it can only be achieved by understanding. Everything must be made as simple as possible. But not simpler. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. Time is an illusion. If A is a success in life, then A equals X plus Y plus Z. Work is X, Y is play, and Z is keeping your mouth shut. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. Love is a better master than duty. Black holes are where God divided by zero. Genius is 1% talent and 99% hard work. What is right is not always popular, and what is popular is not always right. What is right is not always popular, and what is popular is not always right. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is comprehensible. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. All religions, arts and sciences are branches of the same tree. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. You can't blame gravity for falling in love. I love to travel, but I hate to arrive. The moon does not simply disappear when we are not looking at it. The only source of knowledge is experience. I am thankful for all of those who said no to me. It's because of them I'm doing it myself. Without deep reflection, one knows from daily life that one exists for other people. Unthinking respect for authority is the greatest enemy of truth. A happy man is too satisfied with the present to dwell too much on the future. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. Never give up on what you really want to do. The person with big dreams is more powerful than the one with all the facts. Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Nothing truly valuable arises from ambition or from a mere sense of duty. It stems rather from love and devotion towards men and towards objective things. Truth is what stands the test of experience. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. The only way to escape the corruptible effect of praise is to go on working. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. Any intelligent fool can make things bigger and more complex. It takes a touch of genius, and a lot of courage to move in the opposite direction. There comes a time when the mind takes a higher plane of knowledge but can never prove how it got there. Education is not the learning of facts, it's rather the training of the mind to think. All that is valuable in human society depends upon the opportunity for development accorded the individual. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. The mediocre mind is incapable of understanding the man who refuses to bow blindly to conventional prejudices and chooses instead to express his opinions courageously and honestly. No amount of experimentation can ever prove me right. A single experiment can prove me wrong. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. The difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. It has become appallingly obvious that our technology has exceeded our humanity. I think and think for months and years. 99 times, the conclusion is false. The 100th time I am right. There are two ways to live. You can live as if nothing is a miracle. You can live as if everything is a miracle. A ship is always safe at shore, but that is not what it's built for. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. Concern for man and his fate must always form the chief interest of all technical endeavors. Never forget this in the midst of your diagrams and equations. The years of anxious searching in the dark, with their intense longing, their alternations of confidence and exhaustion, and final emergence into light, only those who have experienced it can understand that. Human beings must have action, and they will make it if they cannot find it. Small is the number of people who see with their eyes and think with their minds. The search for truth is more precious than its possession. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. The value of a man should be seen in what he gives and not in what he is able to receive. Insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Most teachers waste their time by asking questions that are intended to discover what a pupil does not know, whereas the true art of questioning is to discover what the pupil does know or is capable of knowing. As a human being, one has been endowed with just enough intelligence to be able to see clearly how utterly inadequate that intelligence is when confronted with what exists. Anger dwells only in the bosom of fools. It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. The secret to creativity is knowing how to hide your sources. Two things are infinite: the universe and human stupidity, and I am not sure about the universe. I very rarely think in words at all. A thought comes, and I may try to express it in words afterwards. When you are courting a nice girl, an hour seems like a second. When you sit on a red-hot cinder, a second seems like an hour. That's relativity. The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. Pure mathematics is, in its way, the poetry of logical ideas. Memory is deceptive because it is colored by today's events. Weak people revenge. Strong people forgive. Intelligent people ignore. You ask me if I keep a notebook to record my great ideas. I've only ever had one. The human being is part of a whole called by us the universe. Nothing happens until something moves. A table, a chair, a bowl of fruit and a violin. What else does a man need to be happy? 3 rules of work. Out of clutter find simplicity. From discord find harmony. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity.